This is quite possibly the single weirdest painting in the history of Western art, and for most people who look at its obscure creatures and sensuous pleasures and impossibly fantastical ideas, it's an artwork that will leave you asking more questions every time you look at it. So what might it actually mean? And what is Bosch trying to tell us? Well, what if I were to propose that to decode this painting, you might not need to look any further than this owl and this body of water? Oh? And why is that? Because an owl in Netherlandish artwork was primarily a symbol for spiritual blindness and sin. And here, in Bosch's first panel, depicting the joining of Adam and Eve in paradise, this owl is nestled away inside an obscure pink structure, a fountain that pours streams of water from any one of its many spouts, and therein lies the cleverest of ideas, because water is the source of life, but this water has been contaminated. And where in the biblical narrative we are led to believe that the snake topples paradise with forbidden fruit, Hieronymus Bosch shows us that sin was an inevitability. Everything must drink to survive. The elephant, the monkey, the giraffe and the porcupine, that all resemble something familiar, and they are a sip away from corruption, and we see hints of the underworld making its way to the surface. Ominous black death crawling out from beneath the open air with 3 heads and glowing eyes, and paradise will fall, and it does. The central panel, the most famous of them all, and an abundance of forbidden fruits make the rounds. Dozens of nude figures, birds the size of horses, butts with flowers and fish with wings, and ducks feeding cherries to men who have lost all inhibitions, and this entire picture is a lie. This isn't paradise, and this isn't fun. It's temptation on the cusp of exposing its ugly face, and you don't need to look any further than these women in the pool. Women who wear a bird or a fruit on their heads, but not for their own pleasure. They are crowned with the objects of male desires, and Bosch bakes into the architecture of paradise the conditions of its collapse. These people will drown in opulence, and there is no turning back. Water, that was once a source for life, to water as a source for fun, is now frozen over underneath the eternal darkness of hell, and the world has fallen. I thought abundance was fun, but is it still? Sleepless nights that rid the world of its capacity to dream, and so the nightmares took over. Monsters represented as music, because harmony in the form of bodily pleasure has transformed into harmony's instruments. These people are being played. The gambler is nailed to his own table. The nun-pig confesses to the sinner. The cities burn and the water freezes. And Bosch's hell isn't a world of contradictions. It's what paradise actually is, when you take off the mask and see it with your own eyes.